What up, everybody? Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, Episode 9. On the night before Kane was supposed to be getting married to Noma, Kane hooked up with Effie, and Effie told Kane that she didn't get him, that he's committing himself to wild-ass Noma. And Kane's reply was, it is what it is. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else as long as it makes sense to him. Then Effie told Kane to make it make sense because he was sleeping with her and marrying Noma the next day. But Kane told Effie him marrying Noma had nothing to do with her. Her dream was to go to California and build robots, and his goal was to be like Bumpy Johnson, Frank Lucas, and Nicky Barnes, and being with Noma gave him that. Going back to the beginning of Season 4, when Effie and Kane were trying to be together, and she saw Kane getting close to Noma. Kane told Effie that he was trying to secure his future just like she was. This also gives us a little more insight into the mind of Kane Tejada, and it's very similar to Tommy Egan, all in concerning the life, and he really doesn't see any other path for himself. Even knowing how Bumpy Johnson, Frank Lucas, and Nicky Barnes ended, Kane told Effie that they were immortal. Again, going back to what Ghost told Tasha in Power, that he didn't know any old, wrinkled drug dealers. Ghost had reached the spot Kane was trying to achieve, and he knew what his end would be if he didn't find a way to go legit. But Kane doesn't see it that way. Like he told Effie, you want it in the game, now you're in, and the game is for life. Again, speaking similar to what Tommy told Tariq in Season 3, you're either all in or you're all out. You're either a civilian or a gangster. But just as Kane was about to be living his dream and running Noma's entire operation, everything went left when Noma found out from Don Carter that Monet had been plotting against her and messing with her business, resulting in Monet's death trying to save Kane, and then Kane killing Noma in retaliation and having to go on the run. But when Noma, Monet, Kane, and Carter all now off the board, this created a major power vacuum in the city. And Tariq St. Patrick used this to his advantage, because in the game, you got to be an opportunist. When opportunity strikes, you better take advantage of it, because it might not ever come back round again. This is something Monet knew, and that's why young Monet took it upon herself to get the extra weight from Lorenzo's plug when he won it. Because of Lorenzo's mindset of waiting for the perfect time, they might have never came up in the game. What if Tariq had the same mindset Lorenzo had and was afraid to step to Chinadu about doing business, thinking he needed to first find a smaller connect for now until he could build up his business a little bit more? He might have never found another plug like Chinadu, and by the time he would have thought he might have been ready, Chinadu would have already found himself someone else to move his product. That's why Chinadu straight up told Tariq, why should I trust my business to a child I don't know, making promises he can't keep? Because Tariq was bold and said that if he lets him move his product in New York City, he would double what Noma was moving. And yeah, it took a little luck for everything to fall in place for Tariq. And like Liliana said in Force, you can't rely on luck. And that is true, you definitely can't rely on luck, but at the same time, like they say about winning a championship in sports, you'll need a little luck on your side along the way. But Tariq's meeting with Chinadu didn't happen by accident either. Tariq said that it was Davis who arranged this meeting with Chinadu, going all the way back to episode 3 when Tariq sent Davis to get close to Noma. The full details of that conversation was never revealed, but the idea paid off in the end as Davis was able to get close enough to Noma to make contact with her brother to be able to put Tariq in contact with him. And just like Kane had a dream to be at the top of the New York drug game, Tariq also had a similar plan ever since Season 3 when he lost his inheritance. Tariq told Tosh that that's the only way he can get back to her and Yes and have a life worth living. He said he just needs that money and power that literally makes you untouchable like Noma. But as we saw at the end of Book 2, even with all that money and power, Noma was still able to be touched. Then in Season 4, Episode 5, after being drugged by Elle and expecting a child, Tariq decided that he must become the apex predator. that he has to get to the top so he can be able to control every piece on the board. So Tariq is the winner at the end of this series, living out Kane's dream of becoming the biggest drug dealer in New York, like Bumpy Johnson, Frank Lucas, and Nicky Barnes. Tariq is probably the most like Frank Lucas out of the three because Frank Lucas was also almost like a ghost type figure. While Kane lost everything and now has to start over in a new city as a wanted fugitive. To make matters worse, the girl he really loved, Effie, had to give him her bag of money, forcing her to stay in New York working for Tariq. And we all know it's only a matter of time that if Tariq wants to smash Effie again, he will. This is very similar to the end of Power, how Ghost was telling Rashad Tate how he stole his dream. Tariq didn't steal Kane's dream, but he's definitely living it out. So moving forward, is it more likely that Tariq and Kane will work with each other, or that this only fuels Kane's hate for Tariq and that the two will become enemies? Keeping in mind that Tariq don't mess with Kane like that either. Kane has tried getting him killed and killing him several times, and also set Tariq up to take a double murder charge. And the only reason Tariq never killed Kane for all this is because Monet threatened him if he ever made a move against Kane that she would kill him herself. And after seeing how Monet saved Kane, she definitely meant that. And let's not forget that even though Kane might not be able to come back to the city, he still has his sister there, and he also has the crew who is moving his product, who helped him light Roman's product on fire, and who is also keeping eyes on Drew. Not to mention Effie, and I'm not going to act like this girl hasn't already betrayed Tariq 3 times before. And even if Tariq starts hitting again, her loyalty will still be to Kane, as she showed in Season 2 when she told Kane about Lauren, before her and Kane even had anything going on, at least that we know about. And like Monet told Kane about Effie, Effie's always going to look out for herself first and foremost. So Kane could use this to his advantage as a way to get to Tariq. Telling Effie something like if she helps him rob Tariq's warehouse, he can give her the money to get out the game for good. Maybe he uses the fact that Tariq demoted Braden to his advantage, and once Kane finds a new connect in the city he goes, maybe he then convinces Braden that he could replace Tariq. But there's definitely a lot of ways Kane would be able to come against Tariq if he wanted to. Also keeping in mind that Kane knows Tariq's whole operation. This is similar to Kanan in OG Power, and how he was working behind the scenes against Ghost the whole time from prison. In the same way, Kane could be working from behind the scenes in another city. Kanan did this because Ghost set him up to go to prison so he could take his spot. And even though Tariq had nothing to do with Kane's decision of killing Noma in front of those cops and becoming a fugitive as a result of that, if Kane was ever jealous of Tariq before, finding out that Tariq is living his dream might be all it takes for Kane to go against Tariq. And also keeping in mind that Tariq is essentially working with the enemy as far as the Hadas are concerned, dealing with Chinadu. Because it was both Chinadu and Noma who killed Monet, and Chinadu was who told Noma that Kane did enough talking to just go ahead and kill him. So because of all these reasons, I definitely feel like Kane is still one of Tariq's biggest threats, if not the biggest threat going into the next chapter of Power. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.